Have you ever been in an argument with someone you love, and suddenly you realize you aren't really there anymore? You can hear them talking, you can see their face, but something inside you just shut down, like a door closed and you couldn't find the handle from the inside. In that moment, you've lost the ability to respond like a rational adult. For many, this looks like a total freeze. You go blank. You might be physically present, but emotionally, you've gone numb and checked out, unable to find words or process what's being said. Others experience the opposite, a frantic fight response. Everything becomes urgent. You need to resolve it right now. You need them to respond right now. To your brain, the silence of your partner feels unbearable, and the only solution is to escalate until you get a reaction. Then there is the fawn response, the most invisible of the three. You agree to things you don't actually believe. You accommodate and smooth things over just to end the conflict, only to lie awake at 2 a.m. harboring a silent, heavy resentment. It's easy to view these patterns as personality flaws or evidence that you're simply too much. We often mistake these moments for poor communication skills or a sign the relationship is failing. In reality, your autonomic nervous system is hijacking your body. It is doing exactly what it was built to do, protect you from a perceived threat. Your biology is treating a conversation with a loved one as a matter of physical survival. This biological reality is explained by polyvagal theory, a framework developed by Dr. Stephen Porges. It reveals the sophisticated hidden map our bodies follow during every conflict. At the core of this theory is neuroception, an unconscious radar in your brain that scans the environment for signals of safety or danger. It triggers a physical response before your conscious brain has formed a single thought. When sensing safety, the ventral vagal system activates. Heart rate slows, enabling genuine connection. If detecting emotional danger, the sympathetic nervous system fires, spiking into a high-alert threat response. When the threat feels inescapable, you drop into dorsal vagal shutdown to survive. In a heated fight, the verbal argument is often a secondary event. The real conflict consists of two autonomic nervous systems battling each other for safety beneath the surface. This battle usually starts with a specific catalyst. One partner feels emotionally overwhelmed and instinctively drops into a freeze or withdrawal state to protect their system. The second partner's nervous system interprets that sudden silence as a severe threat. To their amygdala, withdrawal doesn't look like a need for space. It looks like abandonment, triggering a frantic survival-level panic. A feedback loop takes over. The anxious partner escalates to find reassurance, but that increased intensity only pushes the withdrawing partner deeper into their shutdown. As they pull further away, the anxious partner's system fires even harder. Psychologists call this the pursuer-withdrawer cycle. It's the most common negative pattern in relationships because it's driven by biology, not intent. These recurring arguments persist because two dysregulated nervous systems are trapped in a loop that functions entirely outside of their conscious awareness. Resolving this isn't about finding the perfect script or winning the point. The goal is to shift the biological state of both people back to a place where they can actually function. We call this the window of tolerance. It's the narrow biological zone where you can remain regulated enough to process the issue. During a fight, one person spikes above this window into agitation, while the other drops below into numbness. But to recover, a nervous system cannot skip from a freeze shutdown directly to safety. It has to move upward through that agitated, sympathetic state first. Because that transition is so volatile, it's nearly impossible to navigate alone. You need the presence of another regulated nervous system to act as an anchor. Interrupting this cycle starts with identifying your own early warning signs. You have to learn to recognize the tightening in your chest or the warmth in your face before your system takes over completely. Once you feel it, the next step is to name it out loud. I think I'm getting activated. Naming the biological shift helps pause the threat response and signals to your partner that the biology, not the person, is the problem. Finally, you have to reframe your partner's behavior. Their cold silence is a sign of terror, not a punishment. Their frantic escalation is a plea for safety, not an attack. This is the practice of co-regulation. It's the process where one person becomes regulated enough that their nervous system stops broadcasting danger, which helps the other person find their way back to safety. This isn't a quick fix, and it requires navigating a lot of messy, dysregulated moments together. But as you widen that window of tolerance, you replace a cycle of defense with a predictable sense of safety. You stop fighting to survive the conversation and start becoming a safe place for each other.